Imagine watching a Pepsi advert and discovering it accidentally offered you a $33 million fighter jet. Most people would laugh. One 21-year-old college student didn't. Instead, he spotted a loophole, raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and walked into court demanding Pepsi hand over one of the world's most advanced military aircraft. The crazy part, he genuinely believed the law was on his side, and for a while, so did a lot of other people. This is the unbelievable true story of the lawsuit that asked one simple question. When a company makes a promise, should they be forced to keep it? To understand how Pepsi found itself defending one of the strangest lawsuits in history, we need to go back to the mid-1990s. This was the height of the cola wars. Pepsi and Coca-Cola weren't just competing to sell drinks anymore. They were fighting for attention. Every advert had to be louder, funnier, more outrageous than the last. So Pepsi launched one of the biggest marketing campaigns in its history, Pepsi Points. The idea was brilliantly simple. Buy Pepsi, collect points, trade those points for exclusive merchandise. The catalog was packed with prizes, t-shirts, leather jackets, sunglasses, duffel bags, mountain bikes. The more Pepsi you bought, the bigger the rewards became. Millions of people joined the promotion. Then Pepsi released the advert that accidentally changed everything. The commercial followed a teenager getting ready for school. Each piece of Pepsi merchandise appeared with the number of points needed to earn it. A t-shirt, 75 points. Sunglasses, 175 points. A leather jacket, 1,450 points. Everything looked completely normal until the final scene. Instead of arriving at school on a bus, the teenager landed in a Harrier Jump Jet, one of the most advanced military aircraft ever built. The screen froze. Then 5 words appeared that would change everything. Harrier fighter, 7 million Pepsi points. To almost everyone watching, it was obviously a joke. But one person wasn't laughing. He was reading the rules. Instead of laughing at the commercial, he started reading Pepsi's official promotion rules line by line. That's when he found something almost nobody else had noticed. If you didn't have enough Pepsi points, you could simply buy the remaining ones for just 10 cents each. At first, that didn't seem very useful. After all, who could possibly afford 7 million Pepsi points? But John grabbed a calculator and started doing the maths. Suddenly, everything changed. Instead of needing to drink millions of bottles of Pepsi, he realized he could simply buy the points. It looked like the bargain of the century. There was just one problem. John didn't have $700,000. So he did something even more unbelievable. He convinced businessman Todd Hoffman to invest in the idea. It sounded completely ridiculous, but after reading the rules for himself, Todd started asking the same question. What if Pepsi had accidentally made a legally binding offer? Together, they raised the money, completed Pepsi's official order form, attached a check for $708.5, and mailed it directly to Pepsi's headquarters. They weren't joking. They genuinely believed a fighter jet was about to become theirs. What happened next would turn a marketing campaign into one of the strangest legal battles in American history. Pepsi received the order. It included the completed form, 15 Pepsi points, and a check for $708.5. At first, employees thought it was a joke, but as they looked through the paperwork, they realized something surprising. John Leonard had followed every single rule exactly as they had written them. Pepsi refused to send the jet. Instead, they mailed John a letter explaining that the commercial had only been intended as a joke. The Harrier Jump Jet was never meant to be taken seriously. They even included a check returning his money. But John wasn't laughing. He believed Pepsi had made a genuine offer, and he believed they had broken a legally binding contract. So instead of accepting defeat, he hired lawyers and sued one of the biggest companies in America. Suddenly, what started as a marketing campaign became a courtroom battle. Pepsi's legal team argued that no reasonable person could possibly believe a military fighter jet was actually being offered. Their entire defense rested on one simple argument. The advert, they claimed, was obvious exaggeration, just like saying someone could win the moon. It was meant to entertain people, not create a legal contract. If the court agreed, the case would be over before it had really begun. But John's lawyers had a very different argument. They believed Pepsi's own official rules supported everything John had done. The judge now had to decide whether one television commercial could actually become a legally binding promise. The judge ruled in Pepsi's favor. He decided no reasonable person could genuinely believe a television advert was offering a real military fighter jet. The case was officially dismissed. John never got the Harrier jet, but he did become part of legal history. His lawsuit is still studied today as one of the most famous contract law cases ever argued. Pepsi also learned a costly lesson. Future promotions included much clearer rules, making sure nothing like this could ever happen again. So, what do you think? Should Pepsi have honored the advert and handed over the Harrier Jet? Or was it obviously just a joke? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more unbelievable true stories and costly decisions.